suit's just acceptable as opposed to good. For power suit's actually pretty good.
It looks like they're starting.
Alright, so yeah, they were manually aiming at the targets at the beginning because for the first 3 seconds the HUD is warming up, so they can't actually target until that finishes warming up.
Other than dashing, Morph Ball is the fastest form of movement. Well, Boost Ball is the fastest form of movement, and then dashing. And then R jumping. Or no. Yeah, it is R jumping, and then Morph Ball, and then L jumping, and just walking. With their L jumping right now, when you jump 13 frames after, you get a speed boost, but you slow down without holding L. So if you hold L for the first 13 frames of your jump and let go, you get a speed boost.
Yeah, and if you're in a situation where you just need to walk, and you can't do any jumping of any kind, which that's very rare, but sometimes you might have those situations. Still hold L, because if you don't, you're not going to get as much speed as you can.
Yeah, if L's not your most held button in this game, you're playing the game wrong. Looks like none of them are doing biohazard containment skip.
Good.
I don't think any of these runners do the forget wall crawl either.
No. The biohazard jump here, there's a bomb jump you can use to skip that elevator, but it's really difficult and it saves like 8 seconds. It's tricky to. There's like a small space that you can. The morph ball can actually wedge itself in order to get up to the top. Yeah, someone I know was playing it casually, and I told her, I'm like, hold L, and it made the experience that much better. So even casually, hold L.
Yeah, holding L just makes you move more fluidly in general. You don't even have to hold it all the way down. You just, like, hold it halfway and it'll work. So Parasite Queen, her weak spot's in her mouth, and if you hit all missiles in her mouth, it ultimately takes 8 missiles, but sometimes it takes 9 or 10, depending on your aim. And with movement in this game, it's not really about getting to the door as fast as you can, it's about getting to the low trigger as fast as you can, depending on how fast the door opens.
Evacuate immediately.
And there are some rooms where the rooms load automatically upon entering the room.
Yeah, so you'll have 2 different types of loads. You'll have the trigger, or you'll have it open. It all depends on the room. With Metroid Prime 1, the majority of them are load triggers.
Yeah, the 2 ways you can load a room is touching a load trigger, which happens all the time in casual play, and the other way is force loading it by shooting the door and being close to it. But you only see that when you're out of bounds.
Yeah, Retro was good enough to, when they were developing the game, casually you will hit these. You're not going to miss them.
So the morph ball physics in this game are actually pretty interesting. They're like really accurate to an actual ball.
Yeah, so even though morph ball is a faster form of movement, because they're going uphill here, they go back and they no longer do morph ball because it's slower that way.
Yeah, when you're going up a slope, it's faster, just L jump or dash. But going down slopes, you get a speed boost.
speaking of speed, when it comes to when you're unmorphed, you have a speed cap forwards, backwards, and I think up, but sideways and going down you have no speed cap.
When you're boosting and you're not holding the stick, you don't have a speed cap. Interestingly enough.
Yeah. And it only works if you're going forwards.
So sometimes it's better to release the stick for like a few frames, even though you have to turn. You can actually skip this item loss with the frigate wall crawl, but there's actually 2 item losses in the game. One is here, and the second one is as soon as the cutscene starts, you're landing on Talon 4, so it's impossible to avoid losing your items. So coming up is a really big sequence wreck. It may not look like a huge sequence wreck, but it's a lot bigger than it looks. They're gonna get the space jump boots immediately, and that skips a lot of backtracking, and it lets you break the game early on.
Because you're supposed to get missile launcher, morph ball, charge beam bomb, Mario suit, and then boost ball before going back and getting space jump. But if you get space jump first, you don't need to go back. And you can actually skip missile launcher as well, like just getting a missile expansion that you shouldn't actually be able to get at this point in the game.
Yeah, the missile launcher is just a missile expansion with a fancy cutscene. Doesn't do anything other than give you a cutscene. Or do anything different, I should say. Looks like Skull failed SJF and Remy got it. And then Remy jumped off. They're both struggling here. They're both struggling here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, this is a rough start.
Alright, so Skull has space jump boots now.
Another interesting thing about space jump, when you don't have it, you have a higher upward speed cap, so you jump lower and you unmorph lower. But with space jump, you have a lower upward speed cap, so you can go higher. Which makes some of the bomb jumps in low percent completely different, and no space jump can make it really hard, but with space jump can be really easy. So with dashing in this game, there is no sideways speed cap in the human form. So as long as Samus is facing to the side, you can move as fast as you want. And when you lock onto something in strafe, which is an intended mechanic, you can let go of the lock-on to maintain that speed going sideways. But it's important to note that if you turn to the side facing forwards, you lose all of your speed.
Yeah. Oh, another thing is that energy tank they grabbed, you're not supposed to get it from that side, but if you hold L, then you have extra speed when you're hurt. You don't lose your speed when jumping initially, so you can just pick up that E-tank and you can make the jump then.
Yeah, you're supposed to go through Volt and then go there to get the energy tank, but you can just jump up there with space jump. you can skip this beetle fight with space jump.
Like, they dashed over the cutscene trigger, but even if they hit it, if they hit the cutscene trigger, they can just jump up to get more fall anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, costs some in-game time, but for the race it doesn't matter. In fact, you can actually skip the cutscene going back after Morphball by just jumping over it again, but it's just wasting game time. And this room is already loaded, but pausing makes the door open faster, because the door doesn't open until all the other rooms are loaded, but pausing eliminates that for some reason.
It's just that door, too.
And it's only that door. No other doors do that.
We have no idea why.
It's really weird. It's just a thing. So missiles are very useful. They're going to pick up 30 missiles, I believe. 30 total.
They might pick up some extra just to be safe in the race, but yeah, you want to get about 30. The minimum is 25. Because there's a phase on elite pirate you need to fight towards the end of the game. Like, you need 24 missiles to kill optimally.
And missiles are really good in this game because you can do something called rapid fire missiles, where if you hold up on the C stick and time your Y presses, you can fire missiles way faster than you're supposed to. You can also do it by pressing A, but it's just faster to do it with C up.
Which, just a fun little fact, you can't have more than 3 missiles actively moving at one time. Like, one of them has to be blown up before you can shoot a fourth. If you try to shoot it, it'll look like you shot another one, but it's just shooting off a blank.
Yeah, it'll give you the error noise. So Remy unlocked that save station door because he needs to go to it later. He doesn't need to go to it right now, but it's going to be really useful later for a trick coming up.
Yeah, if he forgot to shoot that save door, he would have to go all the way back to Talon Elevator, which is really slow.
So Zoid, or Incinerator Drone, we call him Zoid because Zoid programmed it. It's fairly simple boss, but it's random how long it takes for the eye to pop up. You can lose up.
The first one's 8 to 13 seconds, the other 3 are 15 to 25, so there's up to 35 seconds of variance.
Yeah, you can lose a lot of time to this fight just from having bad luck. Which is really annoying.
Luckily, this game it's so difficult to optimize this game specifically that having bad RNG isn't going to play a huge factor overall, unlike Phantoon and Super Metroid.
An average Zoid is before the music loops, right before it loops. A bad Zoid is when it goes over the loop, and a good Zoid is like before any of that, so...
If you want to see how fast the best possible Zoid is, watch Hazel's TAS.
Looks like Zoid was nicer to Remy.
Yeah, Remy also got there first.
Oh, they can also stand on the lip by the eye. It doesn't technically save time, but since a human can't predict when it's going to come up, it saves time because you can react to it.
Yeah, and you also don't need to deal with the flames.
Mm-hmm.
You can just completely avoid them and not care. The only thing you need to worry about are the wasps.
So now they're both going to head to Flagra. I think Skull might be doing the energy core puzzle, I'm not sure. Yeah, Skull's doing the energy core puzzle. This wastes a lot of RTA, but it doesn't cost that much in-game time. I think it's like 20 seconds of in-game time. But skipping the energy core puzzle saves 20 seconds, and plus another 20 because you can potentially skip a ghost fight later. Because you can go out of bounds and get past the locked door here. So there's not much to say about Flagra.
There's a lot of cutscenes.
Yeah, Remy's about to go fight him. There's about 20 seconds of actual gameplay, but the cutscenes just like ruin the fight. Like the fight's actually pretty cool. It's just the cutscenes just ruin the boss. And with Flagra, the bomb slots aren't real bomb slots. Like, with all other bomb slots, you have to actually be in it for it to activate. But with Flagra, they're just damage triggers. And you can just bomb it from the side or whatever, and it'll activate it. Which is why Remy jumps to the side there to damage her.
Yeah, those are like the only quote-quote bomb slots that work that way. But another thing about bomb slots, as long as Samus is actually in the slot and the bomb is within range, it'll still work. So you don't need to be in the bomb slot and then hit the bomb. You can do it beforehand.
Yeah, Samus has to be in the slot, and the bomb has to be able to hit it within range. On the later versions of the game, actually, Flagra has different music, and a common misconception is that the loop was broken on the original version, but that's not true. It's just a completely different song.
Well, it has... I think they added on to it. It was like a very small loop in the original, but they added a lot to it to make it more interesting.
Yeah, they had to add excitement to all the cutscenes you're watching.
Yeah, if you like look up the music for it, you'll notice it's a lot different. You look up like soundtracks on YouTube or something like that.
So Remy's coming up on a big trick here. It's to get an artifact really early, and it saves about 8 minutes. Because you can skip getting Spider Ball and Super Missiles and coming back here. The trigger for the ghost fight appearing in Sun Chamber is partway down this fall, so you have to fall and get stuck in this corner. And since you fall down slow enough in this corner, you can infinitely bomb jump back up.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
uh-oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay, hopefully you can save this.
This is gonna be really bad if he can't make this. Because he didn't save to save. Oh, I think he's okay.
This is gonna be the save of the century. Alright.
Nice! He got it.
He saved it.
Oh my goodness.
That would have been really bad if he failed it, but he salvaged it.
That was probably one of the best saves I've seen.
So with ghosts, you can actually shoot them, or shoot the little bubbles to get them down faster, so you can shoot them sooner. And another thing about ghosts is that if you shoot a charge shot at them right before they dash away, you can get them into a stun lock, which makes them way easier and more consistent.
Yeah, because these ghosts can be extremely random, so...
I think the amount of damage you have to do to kill them is 4 fully charged shots, but since you want to stun lock them, you're not going to get in fully charged shots most of the time.
Yeah, you'll probably get like 5 shots to stun them if you do stuns. One of them being fully charged and the other 4 not.
You can see where the ghosts appear based on the radar, but yeah.
Yeah, ghosts are interesting in the fact that they'll either be nice or they'll completely screw you. There is some skill to it, but you never know while you're stun locking one, another one's right behind you and you didn't notice it and it just hits you. So... yeah, it's one of the more annoying fights. Skull saved his too.
So Remy's gonna go get a boost ball. You can skip boost ball, but it's just not faster to skip it. It saves way too much time for movement and infinite speed. It just makes you go way faster. It's the fastest form of movement in the game.
I believe if you're going sideways or actually holding a direction on the stick, the speed cap is like 42 or something like that.
Which is insanely high.
Yeah,
You can just shoot 2 missiles at this column here to break the wall to get the artifacts. You don't need a super missile.
Yeah. It's never mentioned that you need them, but I think the developers intended for you to have them. Just, that's only being based on a conversation that was done at AGDQ with the one of the developers, Zoid. But yeah, no, it's based off how much damage you do to it, not a damage type specifically.
So you can stand on a lot of stuff in this game. As you saw Remy just jumping on stuff to skip climbing up the room.
Yeah. If you compare it to a game, like I actually look back at games like Uncharted and you can't really stand on anything. But with this game you can stand on almost everything. You either can stand on something or you slide off it. One of the two.
So a little bit about the R button. It locks your current speed as long as you're holding L. but if you do your second L jump after pressing R, you won't lose speed. Because if you don't press R before your next jump, you actually lose speed. But if you press R and then press L, you keep the same speed you currently have, and then when you release, you can keep gaining the speed again. So it's good for distance, and it's also really good for going faster.
Yeah, again, that has to do with there being no no sideways speed cap.
And the reason why Remy rolled straight ahead instead of rolling straight to the door is because the load trigger is... you hit the load trigger sooner like that. Since he has space jump, he doesn't have to lower those platforms. And since you don't lower those platforms, you can actually jump to the one on the very top and then jump out of bounds. It's pretty funny.
I actually did not know that.
So it looks like Skull's entering Vendrana about to get a boost ball. Remy's about to go out of bounds and do some stuff to be able to get the Wave Beam and Artifact of Sun at the same time. Out of bounds is really complicated, so I won't bother going to the details about it because I'm pretty sure you've heard the same thing over and over again.
Basically, when you're out of bounds, you have to do a lot of the loading of the rooms manually. And so that's why he's like touching a door, going on the sides. He's hitting load triggers, force loading rooms, and then manually transitioning the rooms. Because when you're inbounds, the game does it for you, but when you're out of bounds, you have to do it on your own.
So Remy's gonna put the room on the wrong map, and that causes the collision in the room you're in to be really weird. You can get stuck in walls while you're in Morphball, and that's going to be really useful. It also allows them to clip back in by boosting.
Uh-oh.
This looks kind of bad.
Yeah, he was up a bit too high. He's still too high. He's just trying to find his way in.
I think that might be... yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
no.
No, he fell.
That's unfortunate.
Falling out of bounds is very punishing, so... That's usually the biggest reason why, let me say it's not exactly the best thing for beginners to start with. Because you'll lose all the time you could possibly save by doing this if you fall.
Luckily, it's the easiest to recover from because you don't have to do any aether jumps.
Yeah, which are a pain. You're pretty much chaining 3-frame window inputs in a 60 FPS game. So yeah, the Skull's opting to go inbounds instead.
So every room's inside a box?
Thanks, Remy.
Thanks, Remy, yeah. Continue your race.
So since the room's on the wrong map, he's gonna get stuck in this wall here to activate infinite speed. Infinite speed is really complicated, so I'm just gonna say since he's stuck in the wall, the speed increases so fast to a certain point where you just stuff happens. Stuff happens. It's really complicated. And once that thing happens and you boost, you touch almost every loaded object in the room, or almost every loaded object there is, not just in the room.
Yeah, the reason he needs to make sure that the game thinks he's in the room between the two is so that both rooms are loaded. The wave beam room and the room he's in.
Because the artifact is in the room he's in right now, and the wave beam's obviously where Skull is right now. So he's gonna pick up the two items at the same time and overlap their cutscenes.
Yeah. If you couldn't do this, you'd have to get Plasma Beam and then detour back here in order to get the Artifact of Sun, so this saves quite a bit of time.
So Skull's doing a little bit of an alternate method. He has the wave beam ready, but this is just so he doesn't have to go out of bounds to do it. You can get infinite speed between these two crates, and he can get the Artifact of Sun without having to come back later for it. And since he's doing it like this, he can also pick up an extra missile expansion in Shorelines with the boost.
Yeah, usually the wall crawl's pretty forgiving, but the first room is not. If you fall in Shorelines, that room is very hard to recover from.
Yeah, they both shot the door, ice fire. Wait, did Skull shoot the door?
I hope so.
I'm sure he did, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, if he didn't, he's pretty screwed. Yeah, because the door is a wave beam door, so, and if you unmorph, you go into this state called Light Show, which you'll see a little later. But basically, if you get into Light Show, you're pretty much screwed.
And the only way to fix Light Show is canceling it with certain cutscenes or using an elevator or using a save station.
It has to be a cutscene that changes Samus's position. So the way Remy got out of it was getting the wave beam.
So Skull boosted and he got the artifacts. But he can't unmorph now, and he has to be careful with boosting because, you know, since he touches everything currently loaded, he will touch all the bomb boosts and it will do a lot of damage. And if he unmorphs, he can't really recover it unless he's in the elevator room.
If he isn't careful of where he boosts in Shorelines, he will crash the game. But yeah, he also did a boost there to get a missile expansion that's behind some ice. So yeah, the elevator will also change Samus's position, so you can unmorph there.
So now they're gonna go back, or now they're on their way to get Ice Beam and X-Ray Visor. You're not supposed to be able to get X-Ray Visor until you have Spider Bomb, Power Bombs, but they can get a Power Bomb early with another infinite speed. We're gonna make a quick detour to get Life Giver first, though.
Yeah. At least being able to get the power bomb there means that Life Giver isn't as bad of a detour. It used to be the worst part of the run and the route. Just finding the time to get Life Giver.
You're supposed to have Spider Ball and Boost Ball to get this, but you can just jump on stuff.
And do a dash across.
You're supposed to have gravity suit to get this, but ghetto jumps are super broken underwater. When you jump against a slope, you get a lot of, well, your vertical velocity increases, but underwater it's really broken.
Yeah, you can actually make that jump with you can make that with a single jump. You don't actually need space jump for it. But you can only make it with a single jump if you don't have gravity suit. Once you have gravity suit, you actually need space jump.
It's pretty silly to think that you can go higher underwater without gravity suit.
Retro.
So Skull is gonna go get Life Giver, and he's gonna do the infinite speed as well, but now Remy's on the way to Magma Pool, and he can get stuck between a few crates, and he can get infinite speed there to get the power bomb.
Yeah, there's a power bomb on the other side of this room, behind a wall of Bendesium, which can only be destroyed with the power bomb. So if you just infinite speed between the wall and the crate, you can touch the power bomb expansion and get it that way. Yeah, this game is the only one of the Metroid Prime games that actually has doors vertically. They stopped doing that in the later games because of, one, how difficult it is to code, and two, how bad they are. Oh yeah, since the room lags, this infinite speed that Remy's doing at the moment takes even longer. Alright, now he's got Power Bomb.
And when you unmorph, you're screwed, but if you can unmorph in a place where the camera force fixes, or where the camera fixes itself, like right here at the fountain, you can unmorph and remorph, and it fixes the camera for more fall. But it's important to note that if he still unmorphs, he still has light show. He just canceled infinite speed that way, so he can boost around without any worry. It's pretty interesting on the Wii version, you don't need boost to actually activate infinite speed. And you can unmorph and remorph to cancel infinite speed, and you can keep doing that. You have
What do you
light
do on
show,
Wii?
you just unmorph and remorph. You don't have to go to the fountain.
No, but to actually activate infinite speed.
Bombs.
Oh my goodness.
So he canceled light show at that save station, and now he's going to go out of bounds to get the ice beam. He can technically get it inbounds right now, but it's just faster to go out of bounds to get it.
It saves a little in-game time, and it saves a lot of real time.
It skips during the energy core puzzle, and it skips a few rooms. But more importantly, you have the potential to skip a ghost fight later. And he's morphing in... It may look like he's morphing in random spots, but that's just to hit low triggers. Ooh.
Falling in this room's pretty bad. I guess it's time to explain ether jumping.
Okay. Obligatory box comment. So if you jump in and out of the sides of the room, you have a 3-frame window to jump and keep gaining height by going back into the room's box or aether. And if you fail an aether jump, you fall all the way down, but what Remy did is he went into the corner of the room so that there's aether on both sides of him. So if he fails one, he just slips back into the other side of the aether. Ooh.
This room's also bad. Actually, this is probably even worse to fall in. He doesn't have the luxury of a corner here.
He could find a corner, but it wouldn't be worth it. And depending on how much downward velocity you have, it pushes you down further into the aether, so the more velocity you have, the longer you have to wait to jump.
Oh, so what Skull did was he just walked at the spider track at a certain angle, and you can just walk right up it. So yeah, no, Remy's got to be very careful here, because again, you only have a 3-frame window. That was a really good set of ether jumps.
Now he's back in this room's aether, so he can jump out of it and bomb jump to get back on top of where he was. And collision is really weird out of bounds.
Yeah, some spots are standable, some spots are not, so he's looking for the standable spot, which is right there. If he wasn't careful enough there, he would have hit the ghost trigger, so he needed to be careful not to move too far forwards. And then what he's doing here is called a door warp. When he shoots that door, the room loads instantly around him. He's got Ice Beam now. And something that saves some in-game time, if you let this cutscene play out and then hold the direction of Ice Beam, C down, it will start transforming as the cutscene ends. You have like a 1-frame window to input that only if you watch the cutscene, so you just hold C down and it works. It saves like 0.6 seconds in-game time at the cost of like 8 seconds real time. But we optimize by in-game time usually, so...
For these races, they're going by RTA, but I think they had a gentleman's agreement to use in-game time strats. Sherman's going to make a quick trip here to get X-Ray and the artifact of Chozo, and he's going to make his way back to Magmar. And Skull opted to get the Ice Beam inbounds.
Wow, there are 2 power bomb drops there. That's... You don't often see that. You alright there?
Yeah, it was a hiccup. So this half pipe is really stupid. Just know that. If it screws up Remy, you'll see it. Because you
Yep.
can... The half-pipe can just randomly stop your speed. It's so stupid.
You even like try to look at the collision there, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's the worst part about it. It would just sometimes just decide not to work. There's nothing you can really do about it.
We like to call getting screwed up by the half-pipe getting life-groved, and that's why some people opt to bomb jump up there to get the missile instead of boosting up. Because it's just more consistent.
The reason we get that missile in the first place is actually because Life Grove, the room right after, takes so long to load that if you're fast enough, you can get the missile expansion and still not beat the load.
Yeah, it's actually the fastest missile expansion in the game to get. It costs no in-game time.
Because loads, what a good game. At least it's not Jungle Brio.
Oh boy. There's a door in Prime 3 that takes 21 seconds to open. It's in Jungle Brio. It's amazing.
And it's a small room, isn't it?
Yeah, the background is just gigantic. And the longest load in this game is to open the door to Artifact Temple, but in Prime 3 that's the average door. So it's really bad.
Yeah, because people like Zoid, who were like really good at being able to cut load times, left Retro around that time. So there wasn't as much optimizations for reducing the load time. So Prime 3s are really bad.
So now they're both on their way back to go to the ship for refill, and then they're going to go to Magmar to get Plasma Beam. You're supposed to have Spider Ball and Grapple Beam to be able to get Plasma Beam, but you don't need it because you can jump on everything and dash and all that stuff.
Yeah, and in Player's Choice, however, you need to have Grapple Beam because the door won't actually open unless you have it.
Yeah, they just placed a random lock there that won't unlock until you have Grapple. It's so silly. And another thing, on later versions they also placed Power Bomb Rubble in front of that door, and on the rims of the room, you can't stand on it.
Oh, I knew about the Power Bomb. I didn't know about the rims of the room not being able to stand on those.
Yeah, you can't stand on the edges. It's dumb, but they probably knew that you could just jump to skip the spider puzzle. And on Player's Choice, it has extra protection. The Power Bomb Rubble, the lock, and the rim.
There's no Power Bomb Rubble there, it's just the lock.
Oh, there isn't?
I believe the Power Bomb is on PAL.
It's there on PAL, JP, and Wii, I think.
Is the lock on Wii as well?
No. They also put a lock in Main Quarry to Waste Disposal in later versions, but it's not there on Wii for some reason.
Oh, the one. Oh yeah, so you can't go through backwards.
So we're having to just cross the room that you need Spider Ball for, but you can just do an R jump to get across. Just gonna jump on this rock, then jump on this box thingy, and then jump on this spinner. That skips the need of Grapple Beam. gonna do a ghetto up this spider track to get up it. So where Remy is standing right now, this you can't stand on this on later versions.
Yeah, luckily you can do that in the original because that spider puzzle is really long and really boring.
So Skull did a dash to get across from Arsenal. It's the easiest strat to get across for a new player.
Yeah, the R jump can be really specific.
Now Remy's on his way to go to Fendrana and clean up Fendrana.
Yeah, so you can jump on that thing, and it saves a little time for him to go around the long way.
They also tried to patch getting up these spinners, but you can, like by removing the stalactite in front of the box, so you can just R jump over instead.
Yeah, so they try to make it so you need grapple beam, but removing the stalactite didn't do anything, but putting the lock there did. There's nothing you can do.
Retro does a lot of silly patches. The silliest patch I can think of is in the Wii version in Crossway. Because they tried to patch getting the missile early by not letting you stand, or you can stand on the peg, but you're not allowed to jump off of it. But you can jump on the one to the left of it, and then you can still do the trick. It's really silly.
Yeah, once things were realized, like once it was realized that the game's kind of broken, it's like they tried to patch stuff on Wii and it didn't work out so well in a lot of cases. Probably the most effective thing was actually introducing a sideways speed cap.
You're supposed to have grapple beam for this room, but you can jump on stuff again. Basically, grapple beam is the most useless item in the game. Well, no, flamethrower is the most useless item in the game. Never mind.
Actually, grapple beam's tied with flamethrower if you do frigate wall crawl. You use it 0 times.
That is true. It's silly because in the 100% route, you actually get grapple beam when there's no need for it anymore.
Yeah, you basically get it for the definition. That's all it is there for.
So now Remy's going to go to Pirate Labs. It's important that he doesn't get X-ray immediately because it prevents the pirate breaking the glass from spawning.
That he doesn't get thermal.
Yeah, he has to get thermal after he's like done getting the artifact.
Yeah, he's entering an upcoming room backwards, and there's a pirate who we call Edward. And he breaks the glass, which it's surprising that he even does this on this side because normally he will only break it after you defeat the Metroid. So as long as he doesn't get too close to Edward during this, Edward will break the glass.
Yeah,
as long as he'll act like a normal pirate.
As long as you move the same way consistently, he will always break the glass. And it looks like Edward dropped the power bomb, which is really convenient.
Yeah. You need another power bomb upon leaving Fendrana because you need to get to phase online through Magnor, and there's a wall of Vendesium in the way. And the only other way to make it is by doing a really dumb wall crawl.
Remy has plasma beam, so he can do this normal way. It's just faster to do it like this.
Yeah, all you need to do is just jump over the barrier and shoot a missile.
Remy, no, he's getting the energy tank of shame.
Oh no, that is the energy tank of shame. Race tank is always fine. E-tank is shame though. I don't know.
You're only supposed to get that energy tank if you're really low on health.
Or if you needed to get the energy tank. There's an energy tank you get leaving Fendrana. You can get it on the way in if you're low on health coming in. Then you would also get that E-tank, otherwise don't. Because you want to make sure you're full on health for phase-on mines. Oh, I should probably open up a couple programs. Like Maze Finder.
Looks like Edward was nice to Skull.
Did you also drop a power bomb for Skull?
I didn't see it, I just know he broke the glass.
Oh.
It looks like Edward did not drop anything.
Oh, nice.
He didn't even go for the Varela box.
Nope. Alright, so yeah, Remy is on his way to mines. Which, you're normally supposed to go through phase-on mines at least twice, because you need to get main power bombs and grapple beam, and then you go get plasma beam, go through Farfendrana, and then you would come back in order to beat the game. You mainly need plasma beam.
Yeah, plasma beam is what you... Plasma beam and power bombs are the most important things you need to beat phase-on mines. You could get to the final boss without ever getting phase onto, but you can't actually damage the final boss without it. So it's required. And low percent, it doesn't, well, in general, it doesn't count for a percentage.
Because the game takes it away from you at the end.
Yeah, so you just need it to beat the final boss.
Yeah, so... You're supposed to beat this elite pirate in order to get up here, but you can just jump on things and fly.
Yeah, they locked the doors and put a barrier at the bottom of each door, but they didn't lock this door, and you can scan to get rid of the barrier.
Okay, so a little bit about elite pirates is they won't start attacking you until they actually are in line of sight. So if you just stay on to the side of them, they'll just walk around like an idiot until they actually find you.
You're not supposed to have X-ray visor for this fight.
Yeah, so it just makes the fight super simple. Alright, Powerbomb maze, let's see. This maze can be for anywhere from 15 to 55 squares.
300 different possibilities.
Okay, that's not bad.
All mazes are odd numbers in length. 53 is not a maze, though.
Yeah, there's no 53. There's 155, and we have Miles created a program that if you put in certain sides of certain squares, it'll tell you the maze. And it tells you the name, length, percentage, and then it's tied with X number of mazes. Because there's only 155 square maze, he put, I am so sorry. Which I think I know exactly what the inputs are for it, so let me put that in chat. Just so we can laugh. Hopefully Skull doesn't get this one. Okay, yeah, the place when he scanned to take down that barrier, he stood in a specific spot so the Metroids are in the correct place. Otherwise, they'll just go too far and he won't be able to shoot him with an ice beam and dash off them. And he did a ghetto jump onto the pipe and then dashed off the missile, and you don't need Spider Ball. I can't think of how many things in the game you actually need Spider Ball for. There's like maybe 1 or 2 missile expansions where it's actually required, but that's about it.
I don't think you need Spider for any of the missile expansions, actually.
Really?
If we're talking about, like, skipping it entirely, not, like, casually.
Yeah, I'm talking about, like, if you put something like max percentage of Spider Ball. Could you actually get everything?
Yeah, you can get the Ice Ruins West missile with the HBJ, and you can get Furnace with the Bomb Jump.
What about Watery Hall? The one couple rooms from Watery Hall.
Floaty Jump.
Fair enough. Yeah, so he's just going through Fungal Hall B right now. Normally you need Spider Ball and Grapple Beam to get past this room, but what Remy is going to do is he's going to jump up on this collision. And you can just R-jump over. Or dash off. Oh no, he's just going to R-jump over. And scan the terminal. He's taking a safety save, because Omega Pirate can really screw you if you're not careful.
So I should take the time to explain Omega Pirate what was going to him. If you enter the cutscene at the side, and any side, and you skip it, you can do the same thing like with any elite pirate and make it so they don't see you until you're facing their line of sight. So you can get all his plates off really quickly that way. And Omega Pirate spawns in one of the 3 pools, and he spawns in the one that's furthest away from you, but he never spawns in the same pool twice in a row, so you can know where he spawns every time.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of going in front of these pirates, it doesn't matter how long you're in front of them. If they catch line of sight of you for 1 frame, then you're locked onto them. Did he get it?
Yeah, Remy laid a powerbomb there to skip the animation of him going down the trooper, so he skipped the pirates coming down.
Yeah. You don't want to be early with that power bomb. If you're early with that power bomb, it'll just knock them around, and then the animation will happen anyway, so you lose a lot of time that way.
There's a certain amount of damage you can do to a Mega Pirate before he switches to the next pool, which is 1 fully charged plasma shot and a normal shot. So Remy is shooting away, so he can get 2 fully charged plasma shots in. And it looks like the power bomb's screwed up, but he can still get a 1 cycle.
Which, based on his health, he's gonna need to get a 1 cycle. He got it. Yeah, so, damage to Omega Pirate is tied to the visor that he has, or the visor that's open. Omega Pirate can only be damaged if you have X-ray visor up.
That's the only reason why X-ray visor is required. It's the only required visor in the game. You don't need thermal visor. You can damage essence without it, but it's just faster for a human to get thermal visor.
Way faster and easier to get thermal. Even if X-ray wasn't required, since it's on the way to Artifact Chose, it would probably also be faster to grab X-ray too.
Yeah, it would only cost like a second or 2 of in-game time, because you'd have to remorph and blow up the wall. Jeremy's on his way back to get the Artifact of Newborn. You can get this early by going out of bounds, but it's really tricky.
Yeah, it requires having a glider push you out of bounds in a very specific spot against a wall, so it costs a lot of time if you miss it once, so... And it's also very easy to soft block, because you need to boost through invisible walls, essentially. Well, they're not invisible, but from the side you're on, they look invisible.
This is the biggest detour in the route, I think, getting this artifact.
Yeah, it's even a bigger one than getting World.
Looks like Remy's stream froze. Oh no, it didn't. Remy's stream is screwing up, like it's going. Oh, okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Alright.
This looks like Skull opted to do the dash of the pirate to get across MQB.
Yeah, that's a much riskier strat, but it paid off for him. What Remy did was he jumped over a trigger that spawns an elite pirate. The same one that he hit earlier, but you can just jump right over it. There's just enough room for Samus to squeeze through, and you can jump just high enough.
So you need Spider Ball to get off these shafts normally, but you can skip the need of Spider Ball by doing some tricky stuff. What he did there is a BSJ, and now he's gonna get stuck in between the spider track to climb up.
Fortunately, it's a bit hard to see because of the fact that the stream's lagging. So that there's a small spot there you can stand on. He needs to make sure those bombs die. At least 3 of them. He doesn't need to do the top one. Alright, good.
That's a good first shaft.
Alright, second shafts, there's just a bunch of collision you can stand on, including one rock that's really stupid. But he landed on it first try, that's pretty good. Yeah, so Remy needs. He came into the wall back, or came into the room backwards, so the wall was still there. So you just need to do an infinite boost through it. And this trigger to blow up the casing for the elite, or for the phase on Elite Pirate is the reason why you need main power bombs. That trigger for some reason just doesn't exist without it.
Looks like Skull get a pretty good Omega Pirate.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely need to be careful and make sure your plasma beam is fully charged, so sometimes people have the rumble feature on so that way you can feel when it stops charging, because even if you're just slightly off, if you do 6 fully charged plasma shots will kill Omega Pirate, but if you're just a little bit off, it won't.
Again, you normally need Spider Ball to climb this, but you can just jump on things.
Like, even if you have Spider Ball, you still don't want to do that puzzle. It's extremely slow.
So Remy's leaving Mine Zone, he's gonna make a quick trip back to Chozo Ruins, and he's gonna get the last artifact he needs before Truth. And he's gonna be attempting a skip to skip a ghost fight. If you will excuse me, I have to use the bathroom real quick.
Alright, I can explain the rest. Yeah, so Remy's just going to save a little bit of time by doing an R jump across there. That way he doesn't have to jump on the last platform. Of course, it freezes at the best time. What Remy's trying to do is he's trying to jump over a ghost trigger here. Normally, you're supposed to fight the ghost on the way to get Ice Beam, but since he did out of bounds to skip that, he now needs to try to avoid that trigger, and he got it. The trigger is just below that peg, so if you're a little low on your second jump heading over to it, then you will activate the ghost fight. It can be tricky.
So it looks like Remy pulled off the ghost skip.
The stream
By the
started
way-
to freeze again during it, so that was unfortunate.
Xanthan, you might want to check the tournament channel.
Okay. Oh, alright.
So Remy has everything he needs. He needs to go back to the ship real quick and refill. And then he's gonna go fight Ridley in the final bosses.
Alright, so Skull seemed to have a good first shaft. Remy's saving at the ship so that he can refill missiles and health.
Ooh, he got ship dash.
That's pretty good dash to get.
Skull's having a bit of trouble getting on top of this rock.
That rock can be a big pain.
I have no idea what Remy just drew in the wall because it was illegible.
He wrote DF.
Didn't look like a very good DF to me.
D is very hard to write.
Okay, I'll give him that.
If he makes a bad F, that's on him, but a D is pretty difficult to write.
Hey, I tried, okay?
It was respectable, Remy. Okay, so... No, he didn't get it. There is a one-frame window where you can shoot Ridley, and Ridley will just skip the entire phase of her... Or she will not fly, or he will not fly anymore. He'll just land right on the ground. It saves quite a lot of time, but we never ever account for it because hitting it is very unlikely.
Oh, you almost got the Viralix boost. Mid-air boost doesn't save any real time, but it saves some in-game time because Ridley will fly down during the cutscene.
It actually loses real time.
Does it?
Yeah.
Thought you
Because
could-
you're not going to be able to get the first, you're not going to be able to stun Ridley right away. So it actually loses real time. I'm not sure how much in-game time it saves, though.
It's like 10 seconds of in-game time, I believe.
Yeah, so so Remy's trying to aim above Ridley, or slightly above Ridley, because those his arm is in the way, so you can't actually hit his mouth when he tries to dash like that. I forget how many frames it is, but if you hit him a certain amount of frames before or after, then you'll get an invulnerable Ridley, and that's really annoying.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is wait it out.
Yeah, so Remy's doing a ghetto up here, so he doesn't have to climb all the platforms. It's really slow.
He got Metroided.
Yeah, the Metroid was not nice.
So this is the first part of the final boss. On the first subchamber, she can only be power or wave. On the second subchamber, she can be power, wave, or ice. On the third, she can be all four. And on the fourth one, it's completely random which one she chooses. Like, on the first three subchambers, she will not go back to the same color again, and she won't change colors. Like, it's a set pattern, but it's random what pattern you get, per se. Well, it's not really set. It's just, it's random what color she switches to. It's just set in the fact that she won't go back to the same color in that subchamber, but on the fourth one, she will do whatever she wants. And Wave Beam does the least amount of damage, Power does the second least, Plasma does the second most, and Ice Beam does the most damage. But it's really hard to hit.
Charge shot, or
yeah, with a charge shot and uncharged.
Plasma Beam does the most with the charge shot.
Ice does the most uncharged.
Yeah. Plasma deals 100 fully charged, and Ice deals 90.
So it's a really, you can snipe her twice while she's dashing around to get 2 extra hits in before the next color. And it's really important to get those when you have Plasma or Ice Beam, because it does so much damage and it ends the next phase really quickly.
Yeah, it's usually nice to have, like, for example, in Subchamber 3, to have Plasma, either Plasma or Ice, followed by either Wave or Power, and then Plasma Beam or Ice, followed by either Wave or Power. It actually achieves 2 purposes, one of them being that you end the phases with the weaker beams faster. The other one being you have a more likely chance of getting either Plasma or Ice in the next subchamber if Power or Wave is the last one in the previous one. Because she will not change to the beam she was in previously, with the exception of going from Subchamber 1 to Subchamber 2, where she will go Wave. If she ends with Wave in Subchamber 1, she could still be Wave Subchamber 2. And that's the only case, and I have no idea why.
So Remy is staying close to Exo so that she keeps doing the swipe attack, just so she doesn't do anything different and to make hitting her easier.
It also will help in Subchamber 4 because it's less likely that she will just randomly change to a different color.
She started with Plasma, so that's really good for Subchamber 4. Okay, Wave, that's fine because he started with Plasma. This is a pretty good pattern.
Yeah, Plasma, Wave, Plasma is a good one.
It's good because both of the beams actually hit. Ice Beam and Power Beam don't hit sometimes. It's just hard to hit with them. Oh, this was a really good Subchamber 4. It's really good.
Alright, time to explain this disaster of boss. Alright, so Essence, after a certain amount of attacks, she will lay down a pool. And being inside that pool activates Phazon Beam, which is the only way to damage her. If you go in and out of the pool, then you can stop the pool from draining. But it will drain after a certain amount of time. So he's going to end up using up the rest of it, depending on how Prime acts. Yeah, Essence can be a real pain. Oh, what he's doing here is he's doing a trick called attack canceling. So he's attacking Prime within a pattern to make sure that he's able to cancel the attacks, and then Prime will just lay another pool. Just like that.
And the closer you are to Essence, the more damage you do.
Good boss. Hi.
And she skipped the pool because she was too close to the body.
Yep.
How was she too close to the body there?
Because she moved.
Oh, I didn't realize how close you were.
I wasn't
There's
too
a-
close, but she moved stupid. So
There's a certain range where she will just skip a pool.
We're assuming the reason they coded that was because otherwise she would lay the pool out of bounds. And that's definitely even more dumb. So
And that range is around her body or exoskeleton.
And even though there are like certain areas where she can't lay a pool to probably prevent from the pools clipping in weird spots, pools can still be in super awful spots and still be in a way that you can't get into them properly sometimes, or like it's hard to get in because they partially clip underground, or like they're flat, so and the ground is not even, so sometimes they're like slightly above the ground and then you're standing in but you're not, and it's really stupid basically. The boss is terrible.
Congratulations on winning, Remy.
Thanks. Oh boy, I improved
Oh,
my race
it's
TV
like-
by 3 minutes.
Looks like Skull got the Ridley invincibility glitch.
well, that's fun.
So, fun fact, in this cutscene, you don't actually have Gravity Suit because you never got it, but in this part of the cutscene you have Varia Suit, but once you're in the ships you have the Gravity Suit. It's really silly.
We have no idea why they do that or why that even happens.
It's because the part of the ship is scripted, so that model or specific model of Samus's Gravity Suit.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, we never mentioned when they got Phazon Suit, it looked like they got Gravity Suit. That's just because the game scripts it to where it'll show you the next suit that you're supposed to get.
So if you got Gravity Suit before Varia Suit, it would show you getting Varia Suit, but you actually have the appearance of Gravity Suit.
What's wrong with my stream? What the hell? Sorry for having a bad stream and dropping frames.
Alright, let's check Remy's in-game time. 107. Considering everything that happened, that's still a decent time.
That IBBF made me cry.
Well, what should I say?
An IBBF made you cry probably about, I don't know, that made me cry too. It was like, holy crap.
It's the stupid thing where you're on a standable spot, but you're not, you know? Like, you try to jump and then you just fall and you can't do anything.
Yeah, sometimes the game will just randomly eat your jump and
Yeah.
you get stuck on a random piece of collision for absolutely no reason and then you fall.
Yeah, like if you don't exactly know the collision where you are, you might, you know, encounter weird things and get fucked by it.
I've had things that just seem completely 100% random. I'm just like, wait, why? Because retro.
Because retro. But Skull has been doing pretty well, I think. Hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he on PB pace? I know that this PB did Thartus, so he saved like a whole lot of time by doing that, by skipping that, rather.
What about Thartus?
His PB got Spider Ball.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, this might be a PB for him. Yeah, he's 2 minutes ahead. Neat.
Cool, because isn't his PB like 118 or something like that, or 117?
118.
118. Yeah.
You had a really good exo fight, Remy.
No, only Subtion before, the rest was garbage.
That phase encore made me cry though.
Yeah, phase encore was still, but it was really only Subtion before, the rest was not good. I got literally the worst RNG on Subshimmer 2 and 3. And I missed snipes.
When Phase Encore doesn't make DF cry, that'll be okay.
I should explain this when he's in Subchamber 4. Each color has a different attribute as to what they do. Like, the power phase likes to grapple you, Wave likes to do the standard missiles, Ice likes to do the poison missiles, and Plasma likes to do the random charge attack, which is very annoying.
Oh, and sometimes in Subchamber 4, Exo will just speed up, randomly.
Oh yeah, that's also a thing. It's really good.
It's also actually faster to kill him while he's doing that speed up thing.
But it makes snipes a lot more difficult.
Yeah, he can barely fit in 2 snipes.
You're most likely going to be able to get a Plasma Beam.
I'm really worried about Skull right now.
Oh god, that health is very low. He's still in Subchamber 3.
He's a big boy, he can handle it.
He just can't go for any snipes.
Yeah, I think he's gonna play this safe.
If
I hope.
on PB pace and in a race, I would play it very safe.
Ooh. Yeah, he's done low percent. He should be able to play it safe on Exo and survive.
Like that dash right there.
Oh, that was.
It's like the scariest thing.
So screwed.
That's like the scariest thing when you're doing low percent.
Oh, he's not playing it safe. Oh my goodness. Oh. I'm actually very frightened right now. Yep, just do that. Just play safe.
Nice missiles.
Oh, ooh.
That was Exo going hyperspeed, by the way, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he get missiles again?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Alright, there's health in the Essence fight, so he's perfectly fine. That was really, really scary.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you usually get more frightened seeing other people doing it than when I do it. So... I'm just sitting there like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh. He didn't end up getting... Oh, he did end up getting an Ultra. Okay, good.
Oh, Essence is being a real jerk right now. This is definitely not where I want to have him. Good boss.
No.
And like that, you just skip the bowl.
Yep, because... Essence.
Yes. Probably the worst part of the run.
What really sucks is when you run multiple games and both of them have a garbage final boss.
I'd argue that Echoes is worse. Like, Emperor Ing is consistent, but fucking Dark Samus is awful, because there's a skip that skips RNG, but it's an RNG trick. And if you fail it, you lose, or if you get bad RNG, you lose a minute plus.
I
You lose
mean,
at least
yeah,
a minute.
Dark Samus is worse than
And then Essence.
yeah. But I don't know. I think Marjora is about as bad as Dark Samus, to be honest.
And Jorah is awful. I just saw someone lose 140, sub 140 yesterday to him.
GG to Skull for finishing.
Yep, and I believe he PB'd. Did he? I mean, based on his timer being blue, it looks like he did. I'm still shaking after that sub-chamber.
Yeah, don't do that, and don't go for snipes. If you're
Going
at
for
50
snipes
health.
at 35 health.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He's in the zone. Wow, I'm still kind of shaking. Alright, 117? Take a guess.
I say 116, maybe 115, but I have no idea.
$115.
Congrats on the PB.
Very nice. I didn't realize there was that much real time. And then again, I think for my runs it's like 20-30, so...
Oh, Skull got the sound glitch, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he got sound glitched. I think that's why people were saying something about Boost Ball.
There's this glitch that can happen in the game with any sound effect where it can just repeat forever until you reboot your console.
Yeah.
So you probably hear the boost in the mission final screen right now.
I think Edson got it with the scanning sound one, that was really funny.
There's a Sinest 25th birthday party, that's about it from what I'm seeing. Tomorrow there's a lot of Metroid Fusion. There's like 3 matches at 8, 1, and 10 p.m. Or 8 a.m., 1 p.m., 10 p.m. Uh, 21% double elimination tournament. Alright. I think that's it.
Go follow the runners.
And
Not
the next...
Remy though, just go follow Skull.
Yeah, I agree. Don't
Alright,
follow
so
me.
we don't know when the next Metroid Prime match is, but there should be quite a few coming up. They just need to be scheduled.
What do we have up next, actually? Well,
Sinest
nothing, because Challenge On is dead. Great.
Oh, Challenge is dead?
Apparently.
Nice.
But I think it's Arweb with the Smiles.
That'll be an interesting match.
That's gonna be a good match.
Justin versus who?
The winner of Edson versus Real Bread.
Oh, right. Edson versus Real, but that could also be a somewhat interesting match. Then
It depends on how everything goes. Like, you never know what can happen in a Metroid Prime race.
Yep. And then we have
there are some
me
crazy
versus Chase.
Chase, yeah.
I don't remember the rest.
The winner of that match faces me.
Yep, I remember that much.
What else is there? I'm trying to think. Like, I'm trying to figure out what was next. Yeah, I can't think of it. I have no idea. But yeah, there are gonna be matches coming up. Like, we're getting to the point where there's semis. I believe in the top bracket, like in the winners bracket, I believe semis is coming up soon. After Edson versus Real Bread is gonna be semis.
Yeah, the sub-hour people are starting to race each other.
Yep, and that's going to be really fun to watch. Because you're just going to see you're going to see somewhat different strats depending on the runner, and some really crazy movement. Alright, I'm gonna get going. Take care, guys.
See you, Xanthian.
Bye.
Alright, well, coming up next, we got the SNES 25th Birthday Bash. We've got a bunch of runs and races coming up for you. We're going to start it off with a run of Pilot Wings. We got our runner for that getting ready right now. And then we're going to do a SRL race of Super Mario World. So you're welcome to join up right now. There's a channel open. And we're going to take a break for a couple minutes as we get the stream set up, but stick around, and if you're interested in racing any of the SNES release games, Super Mario World, F-Zero, SimCity, Pilot Wings, and Gradius 3 are the 5 titles that we're going to be doing tonight. It's going to be races all evening. There's a link in the chat for the tentative schedule. And stick around, we'll have all kinds of crazy stuff. First time we've done this, I don't know how it's going to go. Hopefully well. We'll see.